Zakaboo Sneaker Reviews.
Welcome to the channel. My name is Zach. You can call me Zakaboo, and I'm here for you and any sneakers that you might be curious about. No brand stopping, no shaming whatsoever. Today's gonna be in line with that last statement. It's a brand that I personally see gaining a lot of exposure, not just in Asian markets, but out west as well. And I really think it boils down to the marketing push it's been receiving lately, as well as the quality of their products, of course. Today's shoe is no different. And I think you might even find some similarities with a couple of other sneakers that you're more familiar with. This is Anta's Casual Shoe. Yeah, they don't exactly have a particular name. It's just under that category, casual shoe. I've actually noticed this thing that Anta does, where if it's not a shoe that's tied up with a signature athlete of theirs, they just sort of label it under some random category, be it running, casual, lifestyle, basketball, and whatever else. But the thing is, they actually make some pretty good products nonetheless.
This is a really interesting sneaker, man. I got them in store and the first thing I thought was, damn, those look like the Yeezy 700 and the Adidas Oswego C-Locks put together, or at least it has that vibe to them. I also dig the fact that it's got super minimal branding in the form of a tiny Anta logo right there on the heel. It's a relatively chunkier silhouette, which really plays into the whole athleisure style we've been seeing over the past few years, but let it be known that these will cost you significantly less. Going over the shoe, and we have a fully synthetic upper, much like the Adidas Oswego C-Locks. For lack of a better term, it's a mesh base layer with a plastic shell slapped on top. It doesn't feel bad though, it's actually quite soft and rubbery feeling. And the one positive to this is that it's probably going to be very durable and will retain its shape nicely. The downside being these aren't the most breathable things in the world, but I don't think it's going to be a deal breaker. Additionally, the heel and the tongue are done up in a material that feels like neoprene, but it's actually just foam with some fabric on top, which does move nicely with your feet.
I think most of the comfort you'll actually feel from this shoe comes from that cushion. And while it's not advertised to be anything special, I feel like most people out there will appreciate how these feel.
Yep, these are chunky. It's foam all the way around, and it's very plush with a nice little bounce in the heel. The cushion setup does taper towards the forefoot, and you'll notice that there's a pretty substantial TPU sidewall on the lateral side of each shoe, which I assume is to stabilize the foam, because it's actually really soft. So yes, up front is a little firmer, but still pretty good for what it's worth. Sizing will always be very tricky with Chinese branded sneakers, but if I were to compare these to anything, it would be what you'd normally wear for Adidas lifestyle shoes, and yes, even Yeezys. My usual size for lifestyle is 9.5, and when I was fitting these in store, a 9 felt perfect for me, so that's what I'd recommend. Maybe go down half a size for all you viewers who are more used to wearing Nikes, New Balances, and all that kind of stuff. Wide footers might still want to stay true to size because even if these look chunky, they are a little bit on the snug side of things, but as always, it's best to try them on in store first.
Now, I'm not sure if viewers in the US, UK, Europe, etc., have as much access to physical Anta stores, but I do believe they have some regional outlets which actually do ship to you. Viewers in Asia, though, will have a much easier time going to an Anta store, since Anta's really been ramping up their exposure, and I'm really happy about that because it gives more consumers everywhere more options. Over here in Manila, though, I believe that you can find some stores in SM Mega Mall, SM Aura, SM North EDSA, and Uptown BGC, to name a few, so if you can check them out, go ahead. When I did go to the store, I was actually really surprised with the quality of their products. I mean, yeah, Anta's been coming out with really good products over the years, but this year seems to be just a notch higher, which is amazing because a lot of their products don't cost as much as, you know, the top tier brands that we usually know.
These Anta Casual shoes go for about 3,500 pesos, give or take, which is like $65, and what you get is a decent beater for everyday use that won't break the bank and is comfortable enough to not hurt your feet after an entire day of walking around. The only downside I see is that there's no rubber on the outsole. It's just one solid foam midsole, and while that may be more comfortable, you might burn through these if you're very heavy-footed. I'd also like to add that these might not be the best shoes for working out in, but that's just about it. I'm just happy that we as consumers have more options nowadays.
And I know that I sound like a broken record when I keep saying that, but you can't deny it's attractive in the sense that it brings power back to the consumer, back to the people, instead of leaving it up to these really big brands. Now, as always, if you do like the content, then by all means, please hit that thumbs up button. It really goes a long way. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Enable post notifications and share my videos with your friends so we get a nice community going on. And speaking of, it's already the race to 1,000 subscribers. So I will be giving these guys away just so someone out there can try them and see for themselves if this is actually worth the price or if it's just comfortable in general. If you are interested and you're from the Philippines, then all you have to do is leave a comment down below and make it public so I can see it. After which I will be raffling off these bad boys right here once we hit 1,000 subscribers. But anyway, my name is Zach. You can call me Zachaboo. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.